Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another one of our seniors workouts at home. I'd like to just take a quick moment to thank everyone out there who sent me their positive feedback about the videos. I'm absolutely overwhelmed at the number of people who've sent me feedback. I can't believe how many people are actually doing these exercise videos. People I would not have even considered are actually running through this. So thank you again for that feedback. It's been a bit of a process for me getting used to standing alone in a room, facing a camera and speaking. I'm used to running this class as a live program in front of a big group 3 days a week. Although the one advantage here is that I'm not being ribbed by my students who often like to give me a hard time because I pretend to make some mistakes in my multiples just to make sure everyone feels good and confident about themselves. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your feedback. I really do appreciate it. Without further ado though, let's get started. I'd like to work on warming up our shoulders first today. Today's workout is a full body, so you're going to get some core work, some work for your hips and legs, and some work for your shoulders. The first movement for our warm-up will involve a set of small circles backwards with the right arm. And while we're doing all circles, any movements with our arms, as always, I'd like for you to firmly compress the shoulder down to the back pocket. While we're doing circles backwards with the right arm, I'd like for you to take your left arm, stretch it out to the side, pull the shoulder down, and then start drawing some small circles forwards. So we're going with small circles backwards with the right arm and small circles forwards with the left arm. And I'm slowly going to draw larger circles with both arms, but I'm not changing direction. So larger circles with the left, larger with the right, until I'm at my maximum. Now some of you out there might have a better range of motion than me. Some of you might have not quite as good a range of motion than me. The important point here is that you should be utilizing or running your arms through the full range of motion that you are capable of. Now, let's change direction without stopping to think about it. Just switch so the left arm is now going backwards and the right arm is now going forwards. We're going to make those circles smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and as they get smaller, they're going to go faster and faster and faster until they're as fast as they can be while keeping the shoulders down, and then stop. You can drop those arms for a moment, shake those shoulders out. Let's work on an exercise for externally rotating the arms. So this is a rotator cuff exercise and warm up. It's also supposed to stretch out in a light way your top line, so your pectoralis muscles, your chest, your anterior deltoids, and your biceps. I'd like for you to take your hands and squish the palms together. I'd like for you to keep your elbows at about the height of your shoulders. It's okay if they're a little lower if you have shoulder problems, but we're trying to keep the elbows elevated, okay? As high up as you can bring them. We're going to open up our wingspan as much as we can here, as much as we can. So now I'm already stretching out my pecs, my chest. But then, from this position, I'd like for you to imagine that there's some external force wanting to pull your hands forwards. So you're engaging the oppositional muscles. These are your rotator cuff muscles. This is called external rotation of the arm. You're going to be pulling both hands back at the same time with this external rotation. So we're going to draw our hands together. Try to touch those elbows together, and as you do that, of course, your shoulder blades will disengage and separate. That's okay, it's a stretch. And then we're going to pull the shoulder blades together again. We're going to open up our top line, and then we're going to work on externally rotating those arms or hands backwards. Taking a deep breath in, and then exhale, draw those elbows together, stretch the shoulder blades apart, open them up again for number 2, pull the arms back, pull the hands back rather. Take a deep breath in, draw them back together, separate the shoulder blades, open up your wingspan again, pull the hands back, take a deep breath in, draw those hands and elbows together again. This is going to be the 4th repetition, because of course I didn't count the first one that I was using to describe the exercise to you. Bring those hands together. We're going to do one more. All the way back. Pull those hands back. Take a deep breath in. Okay, you can officially let those shoulders down and arms relax just for a moment. I'd like it if you could tuck your chin in towards your chest and then look up to the ceiling. And as you look up to the ceiling, I'd like for you to grab your hands behind your back. I'd like for you to pull the shoulders back and down, and then look as high up as you can, keeping your jaw closed. Take one deep breath in, and then turn your chin back down towards your chest. And when you do that, it's okay for you to let your shoulders relax and shark forwards. Let's do that twice more. Pull the shoulders back and down and look up to the ceiling with a deep breath in. Breathe out. Once more, breathe in. And breathe out. Now one more for your neck and shoulders. I'd like for you to interlace your fingers. And then I'd like for you to tuck your chin in towards your chest. I'd like for you to place your palms behind your head. The important point to note here, everyone, is that I am not forcing my head down with my arms. I'm actively pulling my head up and creating a resistance against my hands in that fashion. So my head is pushing up against my hands. My hands are not necessarily pushing down against my head. All right? The resistance you get from your arms should be just the weight of the arms themselves. I'm not dragging my arms down. So let's all tuck our chin in, keep the palms behind your head, and then just start pulling your head up. And once the back of your neck is activated, once it's engaged, then we're slowly going to tuck our elbows closer together. And we're just going to hold this position, creating upward force with our head, pulling our head up against the weight of our arms. Let's take one deep breath in, everyone. And release. Excellent. Let's just do one warm-up for your back and hips, and then I'm ready to get into the exercises for the day. I would like for you to keep a nice tall spine here, so we're not going to do any spinal flexion here. We're going to keep the spine fully extended. I'm going to push my hips back, and those of you who've been following along the videos know that I love doing this exercise. The great news is, if you like this exercise, that you can do this all day, every day. Every time you need to bend over to pick something up. Or if you're tall like me, every time you have to use a sink to wash your hands or to wash dishes or pretty much do anything, because they built counters and sinks for a height that is certainly not my height. So let's go ahead and push those hips back. Let's put our palms on our thighs. If you want to stop here, go ahead and stop here. But if you can keep pushing the hips a little further back and go a little lower, feel free to do so. I would love it, and then push your hips forward. I would love it if you start practicing this form in day-to-day life. As I suggested, if you're washing your hands, try to wash your hands like this if you have to bend over for it. Try not to wash your hands like this. If you have to bend over and pick something up, try not to do it like this. Try to do it with this position. Always think bum back. All right, so we'll do this 2 more times. Palms on the front of our thighs, push the hips back. Lower down. You can utilize the strength of your arms to help you up. Take a deep breath in. And then once more, all the way down, as low as you can go. I'm going to go all the way down until my palms are flat. And then press up through your legs, push the hips forwards. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin the exercises per se. I'd like to get a chair. I'd like for you to grab a chair. And we're going to do some squats with the chair. Some of you might be able to do deeper and lower squats than others. It really doesn't matter as long as you're capable of utilizing this exercise. So just use the method that works for you. So grab the chair with both hands in front of you. This is going to be the easier version. I'm going to stand with my feet just about maybe a half foot away. It really depends on the length of your arms. But I'm able to extend my arms most of the way out without having to fold forward and reach. I still have a nice upright tall posture. Now from here, I'm going to push my hips back. I'm going to bend my knees. And it's important to start by pushing the hips back, not by bending the knees. If I bend my knees first, my knees are going to go forwards. I'm going to have a lot of stress on that joint. I don't want the knees to travel. I want my hips to travel. So I'm going to let them go very far back. And look, I've got this wonderful support. Now I'm going to allow my knees to bend, and this is where some of you might want to stop. That actually might be quite a workout. For others who can go a little further, I'd like for you to push the hips even further back and then really bend those knees. Go as low as you can. Look, you've got a chair in front of you. You can use the chair to push yourself back up. So you can use this method to help you achieve a greater range of motion, which helps you to activate more of the muscle fibers in your legs. Or you can use this method to get started with the squat and use it as a launching pad to improve your fitness. I hope you've been following along as I'm doing these. We're going to do 5 more, a little faster. 5. Find the range of motion that works for you. 4. Good. If you feel like you no longer need the chair, 3, then you can just let go. 2, and last one. 1. I have left the wall in the visible for the camera today because we're going to do a wall push-up. I said this was a full body exercise, so I'd like to do this for your chest, your shoulders, your triceps. I would place both my hands on the wall so that my hands are about shoulder width apart. Maybe a little wider. I don't like too wide. I like my thumbs to be the same height as my armpits. So regardless of how wide you choose to place your hands, your thumbs should always be at that same height. So I'm not cranking my elbows up and forcing my shoulders to rise. I'm keeping the elbows down, I'm allowing the shoulders to drop, so it's a much more comfortable position. Then I'm going to place my hands on the wall and take a few steps back. The closer my feet are to the wall, the easier the press. The further my feet from the wall, the more difficult the press. And keep in mind, when I'm doing these push-ups, these wall presses, my elbows drop down. They drop down. There's a difference between this and this where they open up. This is what I mean when I say open up. When you open up like this and you have a wider stance of your hands, you're not going to be working the back of your arm, your triceps as much. Whereas when you drop the elbows down, now your chest and your triceps are going to get much better and more comfortable engagement. All you need to do is worry about your own particular range of motion. So we are going to do this. Instead of counting a multiple, I'm going to spell a word for you. The word is going to be abbreviatory. I'll put that word up on the ceiling above me so you can look at it quickly. It should disappear anytime now. Memorize that word. We're going to spell it forwards, and then we'll spell it backwards for another exercise afterwards. So place your hands in position, and we'll get started with A. Take your time. There's no rush. B. If you feel like it's a little easy for you after the first 5 reps, B, then you can push the hips further back, walk the feet further back. R, and make it a little bit more difficult. E, this is a 12-letter word. V, I, A, keep those shoulders down. T, O, notice how I'm not letting my head crane forward or droop. R, and Y. Woo, good, excellent. Now I'd like for you to grab a chair again, and I'm just going to scoot the chair into this position so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to give some variations on this exercise as well so that it suits everyone. What I would like for you to do is to fold forward and rest a hand on the bench. If folding forward that far down is too much for you, I either stack some books or supports on top of it to make it a little higher up, or simply grab the top of the chair and then rest your elbow and forearm on it. So I'm very secure. It's the same position. Those of you who would really like the hardest version won't use the chair at all. You'll just use a free hand supported on your thigh, and you can use that method. So what we're going to do is find the position that works for us. We're going to pull our arm as high up and as far back as possible. For those of you who have stronger shoulders, better range of motion, and you'd like to work yourself harder, you can grab a yellow band, you just grab a light TheraBand, a light rubber band. and hold on to it so that the loose end comes at the bottom of your fist, not the top of your fist, yeah? Step on the other end of the band with your, let's make it our left foot on top of the band, place your right hand on the chair, and then pull the arm as far back as you can. That's going to give you quite a bit more resistance. So I'll use the band technique, but the rest of you, if you don't want to use it, just use your own arm, and you're still going to get a great workout for it. So let's go ahead and spell abbreviatory backwards. Good luck to all of us. We'll start at Y, R, O, T, A, take your time, there's no rush. I, hey, the longer we take, V, the more time we have to think about what letter comes next. E, R, B, B, and A. Excellent. Now, let's shift over to the other side of the chair and do exactly the same movement. And since we've already spelled abbreviatory, let's try a multiple for this next one. Let's make it a multiple of, let's make it 11s. And we'll start at 0, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, now don't stop yet, 110, we're going to do one more, 121, and I did that extra one because abbreviatory is a 12-letter word, so we needed 12 repetitions on both sides. Now you can get rid of that band, just toss it away aggressively, have some fun with that. We're going to move on to our next exercise. For this one, again, you'll probably want to use the chair. It's a great tool to have. What I'm going to do is do a sit down and then a stand up. I don't have, so here, first of all, the full movement would look like this. Yeah, with a reach up and I'm raising onto the balls of my feet. How high up your arms raise up and whether or not you raise up onto the balls of your feet, those are optional, depending on your ability. But when I sit down, I don't actually have to sit all the way. So if you're not capable of going that low for multiple repetitions, just do this. Push the hips back, keep your hands at your side, reach down, try to touch the chair. At least try to touch it with the tip of your finger. And then raise up. You don't have to rise up onto the balls of your feet unless you feel like you can and you have the balance. And raise your arms up as high up as you can. So, we are going to do, I'll do my first few repetitions the shallower method, and then I'll make my own progressively more difficult so that everyone watching can follow along. I think I would like to do a multiple of 7 here. So we'll start at 0. Try to count your numbers ahead of me as always. Never know when I'm going to pretend to make a mistake just to throw you off. 7. 14. Now I'm going to start going all the way. 21. Heck, if you're sitting all the way down and you need a little extra help, you could push off with your hands too. 28. So there's a lot of different ways to make this doable for everyone. 35. You could think of this as a hip back movement. 42. Hip forward. Hip back. 49. Hip forward. 56. Hip forward. Hip back. 63. And one more. 70. Good. I'd love to do another set, but I have a feeling I'll get some complaints. So we're going to move on. If you'd like to do some extras of those, you can just rewind and to repeat. So the last one we're going to do again is going to be utilizing a chair. I would like it if you stood behind the chair for this one. It's going to be a lateral leg raise. And I'm going to be raising my leg as high up as I can raise it. So some of you might only be able to raise the leg up this high. Some of you might be able to raise it up this high. And some of you might be able to get that foot all the way over your head. Although if you can do that, you're probably not following along with this particular series of videos. I would like for you to stand behind the chair, and at the same time, let's say we raise up our right leg. At the same time as you do that, I'd like for you to take your left arm and raise it all the way up and out to the side, right? So at the same time like this. We'll count a multiple of, we might as well count back from 70 since we're already on that number. Let's start with the right leg, left hand. 70, 63, 56. There's no rushing here. 49. In fact, I'd prefer that you do this particular exercise slowly. 42. 35. 28. 21. 14. 7. And 0. All right, so let's not rest, just switch over to the other side. We should be lifting our left leg up and our right arm this time. We'll need one more multiple. Let's do a phone number instead of a multiple. We'll use the area code so that it's 10 digits. Let's make it 613 867 5309. That number should be flashing on the ceiling above me. Take a quick moment to try and memorize it if you don't recognize it from the song. And we'll get started. From 6, 1, 3, 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, and 9. Wonderfully done. You can take this chair now and just shift it off to the side. So that was a lot of leg, hip, shoulder, a lot of work for the body. So I'm not going to do any other exercises for the day. What I will do is take a moment to show you the full salsa routine as it stands as of now. I've been taking a little bit of time at the end of all of our sessions to do this. For those of you who missed my reasoning for including some dance into the ends of these videos, it's already a part of my program. There is lots of great and recent research that if you go ahead and take your time to read through it, it really shows the incredible benefits of dance on keeping your brain sharp, keeping your memory sharp, increasing the gray matter in your hippocampus. So it's such an important activity that I always include some form of it. Today I'll focus on just keeping the routine strong in your minds, and we won't actually dance it to music. I'll dance it a few times so you can try to follow along, and then on subsequent sessions, if you like, then you can follow along and do your best to remember those patterns to music. So right now we're working on salsa. I like to do a salsa basic step, and then I switch to another step, and then I do 2 more salsa basic steps, and then I switch to another step, and then 2 more salsa basic steps, and then so on and so forth. So without further ado, once more, let's do this dance. So salsa basic means a small forward step or rock forward, and a small back step or rock. If it's really difficult for you when the music comes on to fully change weight, you can place the foot and place your foot without fully transferring weight. Although I would prefer if you fully transfer weight if you're able. So, salsa base, and by the way, in your salsa, if you forget what step we're on, or you can't quite do a basic, or you're unsure of yourself, just march on the spot for 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and then pause. 5, 6, 7, and pause. Yeah? So let's do 2 basic steps. That's forward with the left, 1, 2, 3, and we're all going to do it with the same feet. back with the right, 5, 6, 7. Forward to the left, 1, 2, 3. Back with the right, 5, 6, 7. That's 2 basic steps. Now we're going to do our side break. So side with the left, side with the right. Now we'll do it again, side with the left, side with the right. That's 2 side breaks. You know that means we're going to do 2 more basic steps. So 1, 2, 3, forward with the left, 5, 6, 7, back with the right. 1, 2, 3, forward with the left, 5, 6, 7, back with the right. That's 2 basics again, so we're going to move to our third step, which is a sequence of back breaks. So that's, or back rock. So back with the left, 1, 2, 3. Back with the right, 5, 6, 7. Back with the left, 1, 2, 3. Back with the right, 5, 6, 7. That was 2 sets for both feet. Now we'll do 2 more basic steps. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. One more, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Just recently I showed you my variation of a step called a mashish. I've changed it, I've augmented it to make it work for our program. So at the end of those 2 basics, we're going to point our left heel forward and then our left toe back, always with the left foot. And we'll repeat that. So we'll do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, change feet, 7, 8. And then we'll do the same thing on the right foot, except that we start with the toe. So toe, heel, toe, change weight. Okay, so I'm going to repeat just that step really quickly so you can follow along with it. I could say heel, toe, heel, toe with the left foot, or I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and change weight, 7, 8. Now with the other foot, I could say toe, heel, or I could count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, change weight. And by the way, if you only need to take a very, very small swing forward and backward, not a big one with the foot, it's only going to make the movement better for you. Once we do that, we'll do 2 more basic steps, and I think I'll leave it at that for the day. So try and follow along with this routine. I'll call out the steps in advance. We'll loop it once, and the next time we'll do exactly this routine to music, and then I'll start adding on to it. So let's start. 2 basic steps from 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Side breaks now. 7. So to the side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's 2. So we have basic step again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to change my orientation to 3 so you can watch me. 5, 6, 7, back breaks now. So back with the left, 1, 2, 3, back with the right. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's 2 sets. So back to our basic steps. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Mashish. Heel, toe, heel, change weight. Right foot, toe, heel, toe, change weight. Repeat the routine. 2 basic steps. 1, 2, 3. A little faster. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Side break now to the side. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And a 1, 2, 3. And a basic step now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Get ready. Back breaks starting now. Back together. Back and together. Back and together. One more. Back and basic steps. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. One more, and then we do a mashish. Here we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change weight. Basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Go ahead and practice that routine, and we'll try it on music next time. Bye, everyone.